All right, guys, welcome back to LJ Reactions. I told you guys yesterday I'll be starting the new podcast series that we're going to be doing. Is the WrestleMania Remembering. Me remembering my favorite manias to the worst manias to remembering some of the best matches that, to me, I've ever seen. Right off the bat, you guys can see this is going to be a different type of series. This is going to be pretty much just, you have the pictures from the manias going back and forth. I did try this last year, like different stuff, and plus I did some videos into it, and then I got claimed by WWE. So we're going to do this a different way. We're going to have each match, when I'm talking about, I'm going to have different photos from the match, so you guys can see like the type of best moments from the match, this and that. And again, this is a good thing for us to remember because again, like I said, the last couple manias, last couple years, I mean, we're just not seeing no great building to manias. I would say that WrestleMania's like decline started to me would be WrestleMania 27, which we'll get into that definitely. That's one of the worst manias of all time. WrestleMania 27. This is gonna be a podcast type format for you guys. So I'm gonna give you guys the ins and outs of the manias, some behind the scenes stuff you guys probably wouldn't think you would have known from WrestleManias. This is just going to be starting off with one of my favorite manias of all time. WrestleMania 19 is one of my favorite manias of all time. You guys are going to probably hear when I go through back and forth with manias about me liking Mania 19 the most. I know some people, WrestleMania 17 is some people's favorite manias of all time. We'll get into that one soon about why I love Mania 19 as my favorite over 17. So, WrestleMania 19 took at Seiko Field, which again, thank God WWE is getting back to doing this. The baseball ballparks. This is where Mania 19 took place from. Was from Seattle, Washington, home of the Seattle Mariners. I'm glad they're getting back to going back to baseball fields. I love the Royal Rumble, the entrance. That was pretty much cool. You come out of the dugout, makes you feel big. I love that. The Royal Rumble next year is going to be in home of the Houston Astros at Minute Maid Park. So I'm glad they're getting back to going to baseball fields. I love that. So, again, if you look at this WrestleMania 19 card, again, if you guys are not watching Mania 19, maybe this will get you to go watch Mania 19. So, again, this show is not perfect by any means, but to me, it's my favorite Mania of all time. So, just to give you guys some updates on the match cards, like just listen to this, and you can see how you go from WrestleMania 19. You fast forward all the way to WrestleMania 35, and you're like, how the heck we go from having good matches like this to having, for example, what was kind of one of the matches from last year that we're not going to pick on too badly, but Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Like, no offense to that, but back in the day, you would have got, what we really wanted, would have had Sasha and Bayley. That would have happened. This was WrestleMania 19. We would have got Sasha and Bayley. Vince was not the type of person back then, like, you know what, I'm not giving them what they want. I'm gonna give him Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Like, you don't get that type of stuff back in the day. Okay? The cards for WrestleMania 19, you had Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio. That was a Cruiserweight Championship match. Now, the only match on here that I did not, like, literally care for, which, again, this is where Undertaker streak was, like, starting to pick up momentum. The year before WrestleMania 18, Taker's streak started to get momentum. WrestleMania 19 was not one of the Taker's great matches. Let's just put it that way, people. This is one of Undertaker's worst matches, okay? That's probably the only downside to WrestleMania 19 would have been Taker's match. This is the only downside to this whole card is Taker's match. Then you had one of the most underrated tag team matches from any Mania. This is probably one of the best tag team matches. You had a triple threat tag team match. It was Team Angle versus Team Angle versus Eddie and Chavo. And they're not going to have, of course, they don't have Benoit's name on here, but it was Benoit. I believe it was Benoit and Rhino. It was a triple threat tag team match. Then you had Jericho versus Michaels, and then you had the cat fight, Stacey Keebler, Tori Wilson versus the Miller Lite Girls, yada, yada, yada. Kind of cool down moment. Then you had Triple H versus Booker T. You had Hulk Hogan versus McMahon. You had The Rock versus Stone Cold. And you had Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. Just listen to that, people. That's a great card. Just had one bad match, but that's a great card. So, let's dive into WrestleMania 19. Right off the bat, you had Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio. Now, this was on the pre-show, which back in the day was what? Pre-show back in the day, you actually cared about the pre-show back in the day compared to today. Okay? back in the day pre-show, you got some great action. Now, Rey Mysterio, this is when Rey Mysterio was first getting his feet wet completely. The year before, I believe he came in. He came in earlier that year. Earlier that year, I believe he faced. Yes, he did. Earlier that year, Rey Mysterio faced Kurt Angle. It's SummerSlam. Another great match. If you have not seen Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 2000, I mean not WrestleMania, but SummerSlam 2002, definitely go back and watch that match. That was a great match. So, fortunately, Rey Mysterio was on the pre-show. But his match with Matt Hardy was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's a great opener to WrestleMania. Again, back in the day, the pre-show for Manias, you kind of call them the openers because, again, if you were on the pre-show, you were still having a good solid match. And I believe Ray versus Matt Hardy was a good opener to the show. Again, this is when you had Taz on commentary. This is when you actually had split commentary teams that would actually call each brand's match. For Raw, you had Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, and then for SmackDown, you had Michael Cole and Taz, which felt like an announced team, and they felt like it was a real brand split. So, unfortunately, Matt Hardy beat Rey Mysterio. When I was like, what? This is back when my dad used to order only WrestleMania. My dad would not order Royal Rumble, SummerSlam. He would only order WrestleMania. So back then, that's also what gave to me a good feel to, like, I'm hyped to see this shit, because my dad would not order any wrestling pay-per-view except for WrestleMania. That's how it was back in my day. My dad would only order WrestleMania. So I was actually really hyped to watch the show, because again, back in the day, my dad only ordered one show. So I was hyped to see WrestleMania. And then to kick off with Matt Hardy, he beat Rey Mysterio. It's a good little opener match to WrestleMania. It's a good little opener. Now, next match. Again, this is probably, I want to say this is the worst Undertaker match. Now, Undertaker versus Mark Henry, definitely get to WrestleMania 22. But Undertaker versus Mark Henry, one of the downers from Undertaker's career, and then you get Undertaker versus Big Show and A-Train. Oh my God. This is when they were pushing forgot the dude's name. I think it was Nathan Jones. Quote me down below, guys. But wasn't Undertaker was supposed to team with Nathan Jones, and then they had some whole issue with Nathan Jones backstage, whatever. So they took him off the show. So this led to Undertaker versus Big Show and A-Train. Oh my God, people! When I tell you, even though Undertaker had, I believe he had Limp Bizkit play him out. Limp Bizkit did play Undertaker out to the ring. That was the best thing about the whole match was Limp Bizkit playing the Undertaker out to the ring. That literally was the best thing. I'm not gonna say. If you guys want to go watch it, it literally was one of the best thing in the whole match was Limp Bizkit playing Undertaker out to the ring. I'm not lying to you guys. You go watch it, you be like, damn it, Limp Bizkit playing Undertaker out to the ring was the best thing. Because it was literally the best thing, guys. Now, Undertaker, here I believe Undertaker continued it. When he won, I believe he was 11-0. 11-0 WrestleMania. Now, give you guys heads up. The Undertaker goes from WrestleMania 18 to facing Ric Flair, one of the best non-sanctioned matches you will ever see. Now, Ric Flair was like gashing from WrestleMania 18, but again, Taker goes from this a year before to go and facing A-Train and freaking Big Show. Oh my God. Anyways, Undertaker wins. I'd give it, if you want to rate it, it probably was like a 5 out of 10. That was not really good, people. But, and again, Undertaker wins. Let's move on, people. Now, next match here on this card, people. Again, this is probably one of the best matches Trish Stratus has had at WrestleMania. Now, again, I agree with people that Trish's best match at Mania is against Mickie James. If you haven't, that was another great match. But Trish versus Jazz versus Victoria. Now, Victoria, to me, again, she's probably one of the most underrated people ever, also, too, in women's wrestling. She's not getting enough credit. She was a good wrestler. I'm like, Victoria, like, again, they've been throwing in these people who, again, I agree the Hall of Fame is the type of, is the thing of, like, it's like, if you don't like Vince McMahon, he won't put you in. Like, it's literally, you kiss Vince McMahon's behind to get in the Hall of Fame. It's the way it is, people. So, I'm surprised Victoria's still not in the Hall of Fame. But anyways, This is a good match here. Victoria and Jazz end up losing to Trish Stratus again. The year before, I believe Trish lost in her hometown of WrestleMania. Vince used to love that way of having you lose in your hometown, which, again, I never understood why you lose in your hometown. But Trish lost in her hometown the year before, and then she comes back the next year. She beats Jazz and Victoria to become the new women's champion. Now, again, this is my opinion one of the most underrated WrestleMania tag team matches. Again, you had Team Angle versus Chavo and Eddie, I believe again against Chris Benoit and Rhino. This was a fantastic. If you want to see how tag team wrestling should be today on the main roster, go watch this match. Again, you had Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas as Team Angle versus Chavo and Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit and Rhino. Triple threat tag team match. I mean, non-stop action to its finest, people. Now, on the end, Team Angle comes out with the victory. This is where, again, where Kurt Angle's little posse, man, Benjamin and Gate. This is where when you used to hate Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin because they would win every single way. It'd be like, damn it, you're about to lose, and out of nowhere they freaking win. You're like, damn it. But again, Team Angle was a great tag team. I still don't know why they never brought back Charlie Haas. They were a great tag team, Benjamin and Charlie Haas. That's what Jason Jordan and Chad Gable were literally Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Just a little bit more amped up. I mean, I don't know why even Vince broke up them, man. Gable and Jordan were really great. They were the embodiment of what Benjamin and Haas were. But another great tag team match. Again, one of the most underrated tag team matches ever at WrestleMania. Go watch it. Now, we get to one of the main event matches. Now, as me being a Shawn Michaels fan, I don't know what it was about the match at WrestleMania 19. I never got that. Damn, this was a classic. Even though some people say this was one of Shawn's best matches. Again, it is one of his best matches, but I never was like, damn, that was really fucking good. To me, I love Angle and Michaels more than this. Again, I love Shawn Michaels versus Triple H versus Benoit more than this. I love, of course, in my opinion, the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. Taker's and Michaels. Taker and Michaels 2 is better than this. I don't know what it was with me and Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. I don't know what it was, but it's still a good match. It's just not like one of my all-time favorite Shawn Michaels matches of all time. I don't know what it is. It's just not. But it's still a great match to go watch. I mean, here, I believe the year before, Chris Jericho had won the Undisputed title. So, for Chris Jericho to go from the year before to face Triple H in the main event, and then next year to get Shawn Michaels, I mean, shit. Jericho was, literally at an all-time high on this WrestleMania momentum. So, Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho had a great match. It's just something about it that's I don't know what it is. I can't explain it to you guys, but it's not one of my favorite Michaels matches of all time. But Shawn Michaels ends up beating Chris Jericho here. I mean, you had moments from Chris Jericho stealing Shawn Michaels' super kick. Hitting him with the super kick. You think, oh, shit. Michaels might lose, but no, but it still was a great match. And you had Jim Ross and Jerry King Lawler on commentary for this match, so Jim Ross pretty much made me care about it. I just didn't care about it to one of Michaels' greatest matches of all time, but still a good match for both men. Then we get to the cat fight, whatever, with Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson versus the Miller Lite cat fight girls, whatever. They end up freaking throwing Jonathan Coachman in the freaking what thing was that? Whatever. I think it was milk or whatever, some shit, whatever. They threw Jonathan Coachman in there. But whatever, cool down moment from Michaels and Jericho. Then you get to one of the most controversial matches of all time, WrestleMania 19. Now, this is when back in the day Triple H, had the golden shovel. Okay? I believe Triple H was world champion 3 times throughout the year. It was crazy. He lost the belt to Shawn Michaels' Elimination Chamber. He gets the belt back, I believe, at Armageddon. He did. He beat Scott Steiner also in this year, calendar year. I believe, hold up. I want to get my years conflicted. Hold up. No, Triple H beat Scott Steiner the next year. My bad, people. He beat him next year. But anyways, Triple H was champion 3 times throughout this year. Booker T wins the Battle Royal. He eliminates The Rock to win the Battle Royal. Everybody and their grandma, even me. I wouldn't say even me, but later down the line, when I got older, I read more stuff into Triple H. It's like, how do you not do the job for Booker T? Like, Booker T is like, everybody believed Booker T should have won this match here. Like, again, Triple H had beaten Shawn Michaels. I believe he beat him at Royal Rumble. No, they went to a no contest at the Rumble. Did they go to a no contest at the Rumble? Guys, comment down below if I'm wrong. Didn't Triple H and Shawn Michaels go to a no contest at the Rumble? It was like a last man standing match thing. It was like a no contest. Something that way. But Booker T should have beat Triple H here. I don't know what it was, what it is. Again, Triple H had maybe... This was though back then Triple H had the power to do whatever he wanted to. Like, it's like either you do what Triple H wants to do or you get fucked up. You get put in the back of the line. So, Triple H beats Booker T here. It was a decent match. It wasn't one of the Triple H's best matches of all time. This one Triple H was like literally out of shape. Like, you can see Triple H with that beer belly. Like, this was not one of his best in shape moments of his career. But he beat Booker T. Again, I think Booker T should have won here. Mostly everybody in the wrestling community, if you go back and talk about WrestleMania 19, Booker T should have beaten Triple H. Now, it didn't pan out that way for the man, but... And then later down the line, I don't think Booker T did anything else important until he got to the King Booker gimmick. Now, one of the best street fights. Listen here. This is when Mr. McMahon literally was a street fight king. I mean, he goes from WrestleMania 17 to facing Shane McMahon. Here he faces Hulk Hogan. He had a great match against Shawn Michaels. Like, Mr. McMahon was literally the street fight king. And then we'll get to WrestleMania 27. Was it 26? We'll get to that one too. Oh my God, against Bret Hart, people, Jesus Christ. But again, as a wrestling fan, we always say one thing, people. When you have realism into it and you have real story build, like real hate. Now, Hulk Hogan and Mr. McMahon, I believe they got over their issues when Hulk Hogan probably came back to the company. Okay, but back in the day, of course, you had Hogan testifying against Mr. McMahon in court. Like, Mr. McMahon hated Hulk Hogan to a point, people. Until they got back to being, good friends, good working condition, like that. But the build to this match was like, you had Gene Okerlund in the freaking promo build, people. Come on. I mean, this match was one of the best street fight matches you ever will see. Come on, man. You have 50-year-old Hogan, 50-year-old McMahon in a street fight, laying it all on the line. Like, this shit was really good. Now, if you go back and watch this match, people, this is some of the hard-hitting shots you'll see. Yo, you saw Mr. McMahon take a leg drop off the ladder through the announce table on Hulk Hogan. Like, you had Roddy Piper in this. You had the crooked referee in this, which I believe was Rene Dupree. Was working for Mr. McMahon at the time. You had, I believe it was only Roddy Piper was a run-in, and you had Rene Dupree. Yeah, that was like the only couple run-ins, but you still had Piper on the fucking show, people. Piper was, he was helping McMahon to win, and then the funny thing was Piper he hated McMahon, he hated Hogan, he hit Hot Rod hit Hulk Hogan with the pipe, and then you see McMahon climbing over, he's about to win, you're like, oh shit, McMahon's about to win, and then Jim Ross is like, not like this. It was Taz and Cole were calling the match, which was kind of crazy. But again, you still had Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler call The Rock and Austin. So what is. But you had Michael Cole's like, not like this. But it was a great match. I mean, and then at the end, you had Hulk Hogan give McMahon 3 leg drops, gets the win. And then you see the camera shot, McMahon seeing Hogan up the ramp, McMahon flicking off Hogan like with the blood dripping down his face. It's like, oh my God. That's like one of the best shots ever in life. Great match. Hogan wins, though. The Rock versus Stone Cold. I mean, people, like literally, some of the best promo work ever in life you ever see by any wrestlers. So we're missing so much in today's society. The scripted shit is just so annoying. If you go back to this, you see like the realism, the non-scripted promos, how much they would help. How much it would help today's wrestlers so much. It would help them so much. First off the bat, you have The Rock playing Hollywood Rock, which is one of the greatest things in life, people. Hollywood Rock is one of the greatest things in life. Like, I'm going to do that reaction for you guys tomorrow. I know some of you guys have been requesting react to The Rock's most savage moments. We'll get that tomorrow, people. But Hollywood Rock was, oh my God, people. Dude was gold. Now, some people say they didn't never like The Rock as much as like Austin, but you'll hear people say the most. Hollywood Rock was the best Rock. If you hear anybody say they never liked The Rock as a babyface, they always told you Hollywood Rock was the shit, and he was the shit, people. He was amazing. This was Stone Cold's last WrestleMania match ever. If you guys did not know, again, Stone Cold had injured his neck way in the back. I think it was like around WrestleMania 14, something like that. Before then, he got the power driver from Owen Hart, which fucked up his neck the first time. Okay, and then they wrote him off TV when he got hit by Rikishi with the car. They wrote him off TV because he had to get some more stuff done with his neck. And then, like, if you hear Austin ever talk about it, he tells you, like, he had to go to the hospital the night before WrestleMania 19 because he was, like, suffering. And then can you believe this is the last match Austin ever wrestled? It's just so crazy to believe this was his last match ever wrestling, ever, due to his neck. Just sitting back and rewatching this match every year when I do. You just see how much fun they had out there, man. The last match ever. It's like you had The Rock trying on Austin's vest. Like, shit was, I mean, just go back and look at this match. Like, it's just crazy to see this is Austin's last match. And they laid it all on the line, like, for the last time ever. I mean, you had two of the biggest stars ever in the company. Like, literally. There's never been a Rock. There's never been an Austin after this. I mean, Vince has tried. We tried, but you're never going to duplicate The Rock and Austin ever. It's just crazy to think this, man. Like, you go all these years later and you don't have nobody near to The Rock's promo ability in the company. Nobody near as charismatic as Stone Cold. Like, you don't have that. It's just crazy. You thought Vince would have found somebody, but he has not found nobody to his liking to this. The build-up to this match, you had The Rock. Never beaten Stone Cold at WrestleMania. Ever. The Rock said he's done it all. He's whooped everybody's ass. But he's never whooped that bald ass at WrestleMania. Like, it's just crazy, man. Again, I believe every time The Rock and Austin fought at Mania, it was the right outcome. It was the right outcome. I think Austin should have won. But WrestleMania 17, we'll get into that when we get into that. But it's just, you go back to WrestleMania 17, I believe Austin should have won. Yes. The ending, yeah, he agreed. He would change the ending too. But The Rock gets the win here over Stone Cold. It took 3 rock bottoms to beat Stone Cold. And again, it was Austin's last match ever at a WrestleMania. Just crazy to think that, man. Just crazy to think that. You get to the main event. Now, back in the day, Brock Lesnar was the next big thing. He was the next big thing. Going against Kurt Angle, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. This match was long, but it was a good-ass wrestling match. It was literally the perfect, I don't say it's the perfect wrestling match, but it was damn near one of the best wrestling matches that you will ever see tactician-wise between Lesnar and Angle. Now, the build-up to this match here was Brock Lesnar was champion throughout the year. He lost the belt at Survivor Series to the Big Show. I believe I'm correct, people. He lost it to the Big Show at Survivor Series. Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar were buddies to a point building up this match. And then Angle cheated Brock Lesnar out of the belt. There was different times where Lesnar almost beat Kurt Angle, but he didn't. You had a storyline in place where Kurt Angle was going to defend the belt against Brock Lesnar. Lesnar thought he had won the match. He realized, oh shit, this is not Kurt Angle. You had Kurt Angle playing mind games with Brock Lesnar. To the point, you get to the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar had to beat the Big Show to get into the Rumble match. Which he did beat the Big Show to get into the Rumble match. And you had different times throughout the year, Brock had to really fight to get back. See, this is the Vince. This shit here would have worked with. This is the type of storyline you would have worked with Roman Reigns, but Vince is just so out of touch. He forgets the stuff he did back in the day. Keyword, you heard that, people. Brock had to beat the Big Show to get into the Royal Rumble match. Hell, Vince, this is the type of stuff that could have worked with Roman Reigns, but you never thought to do that. Okay? Brock had to beat the Big Show to get into the Rumble match. He eliminates The Undertaker to win the Rumble. Now, there were some spots into this match here where, of course, the most famous spot you ever see was the spot where Brock does the moonsault and hits his fucking head on, I believe it hits on Kurt Angle's shoulder, but he completely missed Kurt Angle. He was woozly-ish, wobbly as shit. This nigga still got up and hit the F5 on Kurt Angle to win the match. Now, you go back through this card for WrestleMania 19, I mean, again, if you want me to overall rate this show, I give this show at 8.5. I mean, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, the worst match on the show, of course, to me was, again, Undertaker versus Big Show and A-Train. But you still had you still have at least, I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. Because at least you had 2 matches that were at least a 9, which I'll give Hogan and McMahon for the sheer fun of the match. I'll give Hogan and McMahon a 9. Rock and Austin, not their best match, but I'll give it at least an 8. Lesnar and Angle, I'll give that an 8.5. And I'll give Michaels and Jericho an 8. The tag team match, that shit's a 9. That was a great match. I'll give that shit as a 9. So I'll give this show no higher than a 9. No higher than a 9. I mean, again, hopefully you guys got some good information. Hopefully some of you guys got some good memory of matches that you're like, oh shit, forgot that was on the show. Hopefully you guys got some pure, just some good joy out of listening to this. Like, damn it, man. Maybe when Triple H takes over, we'll get some of this stuff back again. So, hopefully you guys like this series. Again, tomorrow, give you guys a heads up for tomorrow. Again, I told you guys, I'm not going to be going in order. This is going to be me giving you my favorite matches, favorite manias from this. It's going to be all over the place. It's going to be all over the place. So for tomorrow, guys, we're gonna go back to a Mania in the Citrus Bowl. It's not gonna be WrestleMania 34. We're gonna go back and touch on WrestleMania 24. This was the first time WrestleMania was in my home state, and I almost went, but I'll give you the story of how I did not go. But we're gonna touch on WrestleMania 24. Just to give you guys a heads up. Put it this way. Floyd Mayweather versus The Big Show was even fucking good. We'll give you guys a heads up for tomorrow. We're going to touch WrestleMania 24. Hope you guys liked the podcast, like the video down below. Forget to comment on some of your favorite matches from the show. And catch you guys later tonight for SmackDown live reactions. Catch you guys tomorrow.
Together, you know what I mean?